Hi everybody, my name's Rob and I'm a fitness instructor here in Wainwright, Alberta. Today we're going to be going through a yoga-based mobility session focusing mainly on the hips, the lower back, and the legs. Now, I'm not a yoga teacher, so I'm not incredibly flexible, and you don't have to be either. But whatever ability level that you do have, you will see some benefits from this session, and you'll be able to take a lot from it. That being said, the only equipment that you need is a yoga mat, and not necessarily even that. You could use a towel, you could use a rug, or a carpet that you have at home. Really anything that gives you a little bit of cushioning to work with. Other than that, a bottle of water or a glass of water if that's what you need, and you're good to go. So, with that being said, let's get to it. We're going to start by taking a seat on our mat, and from here, lying back, flat on your back, either with your knees at 90 degrees and your feet flat on the floor, or legs extended out and lying completely flat. So, finding your position here, like I said, knees at 90 degrees or legs out straight, it's up to you, whatever's more comfortable. And your hands can rest gently on your stomach, out to the side with palms down on the floor, palms up on the floor. Again, whatever's most comfortable for you, whatever works. We're going to start the session today just by focusing on your breathing. So I want you to really focus on breathing in through your nose, nice deep breath, and out through the mouth. Deep, slow breathing is the name of the game here, and when we get into some of the poses that are maybe a little bit more strenuous or a little bit more of a stretch, bringing your focus and your attention back to your breathing is really going to help you get through those times. So, deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. And really focus on the sensation of how it feels breathing in and out. Feeling your belly and your chest fill. And the air flowing out as you let it go. So we'll do a few more deep breaths here. And after taking those last deep breaths, I want you to bring your knees up towards your chest. You can hold on to the front of your shins here with your hands and just squeeze your knees in towards your chest. Keep that deep breathing going, in through your nose, out through your mouth. And as we're here in this position with our knees pulled in, you can add a little bit of rocking back and forth if you like. You can rock your knees in. You can roll a little bit side to side. Basically giving yourself a little bit of a massage in your lower back wherever you feel like you might need it. Nice and easy. Nice deep breaths. Feeling your stomach when you breathe in, pressing against your legs, and when you breathe out, feel it pulling away. And from here, holding on to just your right knee, letting your left leg straighten out, and letting your left heel find the floor, and keeping that deep breathing going, just holding here. Hopefully feeling a light stretch just in the back of the leg that you're holding up here. And nice deep breaths. Starting off nice and gentle here. And in each pose that we go through today, focusing on the sensations of your body, not pushing too hard, but not too little either. And one more breath. And once you've let go of that breath, bringing your left knee back up, squeezing both knees in towards your chest once again, adding any rocking here that you might like, just for a few breaths, before holding onto your left knee and letting your right leg straighten out, your right heel finding the floor, and a nice gentle stretch here as well. We'll hold here for a few breaths. And once more. Okay, and bring your right knee back up, squeezing both knees in towards your chest once again. You can add the rocking if you like, or you can just stay still, whatever feels good. And from here, we're just going to relax both legs down, putting both feet flat on the floor. And from here, really grounding yourself through the soles of your feet, getting set here, hopefully knees somewhere near 90 degrees. We're just going to start to warm up the back of the legs here so that we can get into some deeper stretches later on. So, arms out at your sides here, palms facing down on the floor. All we're going to do, pressing down through your heels, you're going to squeeze your hamstrings, squeeze your glutes, and then press your hips up towards the ceiling, and just hold here at the top, only for 2 or 3 breaths. Nice deep breaths, strong legs, strong core. Deep breaths, breathing behind the shield that is your core. One more deep breath. And then let your upper back start to lower, rolling down each vertebrae towards your lower back, and finally slowly setting your hips back down on the floor. We'll take one breath here before breathing in and pressing through the heels again, breathing out and pressing the hips up towards the ceiling. A little bit longer of a hold this time, 3 to 5 breaths. And same thing again. Slowly rolling down your upper back, down to your lower back, and setting the hips down on the floor. We're going to go through one more time. Deep breath in, and as you breathe out, press through your feet, and holding here again for about 5 breaths. Maybe feeling a little bit of heat building in the back of your legs, through your glutes. And one more time, rolling down through your upper back, really trying to touch each vertebrae individually to the floor before finally setting your hips back down on solid ground. And from here, bringing both knees back up towards your chest, squeeze them in a little bit, add a little bit of that rocking if you like. And from here, all we're going to do is let your left leg straighten out, still holding your right knee up here. All we're going to do is let our right knee fall out towards the side, opening up through the groin, You're going to set your right foot down on the floor. You can bring it in towards your knee if you like, or have it farther out from your body, whatever's more comfortable, and hopefully feeling a little bit of a stretch through the front of the right side of your groin here. Some nice deep breaths. Arms can be resting at your sides or lightly on your stomach, whatever you prefer. One more deep breath. And we're just going to bring that right knee back up towards your body, along with your left knee. Nice quick squeeze in here at the knees before letting your right leg straighten out this time, and then letting your left knee fall out towards the side. Set your left foot on the floor, and we're going to do the same thing on your left side here, stretching through the front of your groin. Nice deep breaths. If you find yourself holding any tension, especially throughout your glutes in this pose, just try and relax them down and sink into the floor. A few deep breaths. One more. And from here, bringing both knees back up. One more time. We're going to squeeze them in nice and close. Add the rocking if you like, just for a few more breaths here. And if you'd like, you can make your rocking a little bit bigger. And rock yourself right up into a seated position. And from here, all we're going to do is flip right over onto your hands and knees. And from this position here, we're going to go into our cat-cow pose. So nice, light, easy pose just to warm up through your lumbar spine, a little bit through your thoracic spine as well. Nice and square with the floor, hands are stacked under your shoulders, knees are stacked below your hips. All we're going to do is as you breathe in, you're going to let your belly button fall down towards the floor, and you're going to lift your head when you breathe in. When you breathe out, you're going to pull your belly button up towards the ceiling and let your head come down as you breathe out. So breathe in, head up, belly down. Breathe out, belly up, head down. Going at your own pace now, with the pace of your own breathing. Breathe in, head up, breathe out, head down. A few more breaths. Okay, and you can bring your spine back to neutral. I'm just going to turn around here, and from your all fours position here, all we're going to do is tuck our toes down underneath of our feet. Spread your hands nice and wide. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Really plant strongly and firmly into your mat through your hands. And all we're going to do is we're going to press our hips up towards the ceiling and a little bit back. Keeping your arms nice and straight. As soon as you start to bend your arms, you're going to put a lot more tension through the muscles in your arms. So keep them nice and straight. Put that load through your bones so you have to do a little bit less work. And pressing your heels down towards the floor, I want you to feel like you're bringing your chest towards the front of your legs. So pressing through the hands, really trying to ground through the hands and your feet. Press the heels down, chest towards your legs. And it might be difficult, but try and bring your attention back towards your breathing here in this position. Nice deep breaths. This is one of those positions that I talked about earlier where focusing on your breath is really going to help you through it. One more. And from here, all we're going to do is come forward into a nice high plank. And from our high plank position here, all we're going to do is take our right foot, bring it in between our hands, or as close as you can here. I came up a little bit short, so I'm just going to scooch it forward a bit. And so your right foot comes between your hands. Set your back knee down on the floor. You can untuck your toes back there as well. And just bring your body up nice and tall, nice and straight. From here, if your foot and your back knee are relatively narrow, relatively close together in terms of being lined up, and you're having a little bit of trouble balancing, you can scooch your front foot out to the side a little bit, and that might help you with your balance. If you want a little bit more of a balanced challenge, you can keep them nice and close together as well in terms of being lined up. But from here, I want you to keep your hips pointed straight ahead of you, no turning off to the side like this. Keep the hips pointed straight ahead, and just sink forward and letting this back knee stay where it is, and hopefully feeling a little bit of a stretch here through the front of your hips. Keeping your body nice and tall. You don't want to be hunched over forward like this, otherwise you'll lose that tension through the front of your hip here. So just pressing forward very lightly. Again, we don't want to push ourselves too far, just far enough to have a gentle stretch there. And if you've lost it, bringing your attention back to your nice deep breathing. In through your nose, out through your mouth. We'll go one more breath before bringing your chest forward, setting both hands back down on the mat. Again, spreading them nice and wide, grounding yourself through your hands. Bring that leg back, tuck the toes, and press yourself back up into another down dog. Just holding here for 2 or 3 breaths before bringing it forward into a high plank. And this time, bringing your left foot forward, setting it between your hands, setting your back knee down, and bring it up. You can untuck your toe at the back as well. And same thing as on the other side. Just keeping the hips straight forward, gently bringing your hips forward as well. And nice and tall, nice deep breaths. Feeling a light stretch in your hip flexors, or in the front of that hip. Try not to arch your back too much in this position either. Try and feel like you're tucking your tailbone down and underneath you as you bring those hips forward. We'll stay for a couple more deep breaths. Before bringing your hands down to the mat, pressing in, really grounding ourselves back into high plank, tuck the toes, and then back up into down dog. Again, try and bring your chest towards the front of your legs, or imagine that you are. This time, coming forward into our high plank, and bringing your right knee forward. Setting your right knee on the floor underneath you, untuck the back toes, and then just bringing your chest down towards the ground. You can stay up on your hands if this is enough of a stretch, hopefully in the back of your right hip here, through your right glute. You can stay up on your hands if this is already enough of a stretch for you. Alternatively, you can come down to your elbows and bring your chest down towards the floor a bit more. Or if you really want to relax down, you can just rest your head down on your arms or on your mat, keeping those nice deep breaths going. I'm going to stay up here so I can face the camera a little bit. But nice deep breaths. Again, in this position, we can sometimes hold some tension through our left glute, especially when our right knee is forward. So if you notice that you're squeezing there a little bit, just relax it down. At the same time, if you are up on your hands, try and make sure you're not shrugging your shoulders up towards your ears. Try and get some separation there, keep them down and back. Really press those shoulder blades into your back pockets, or imagine you are. We'll do a couple more deep breaths here. Before rising up, if you're down on your elbows or your head is on your mat, up onto your hands, nice and strong. Tuck the back toes, bring that leg back. Nice easy flow up into down dog, forward into high plank, and this time bringing your left knee forward, setting it underneath your body, and doing the same thing on this side. So supporting yourself with your hands, again, tuck those shoulder blades down and back, relax the glute if you feel that you're squeezing that, and from here, staying on your hands, going down to your elbows, or down, resting your head on your mat. Dealer's choice. And we're going to go for one more deep breath here. Before bringing yourself up onto your hands, spread them nice and wide, nice base of support, tuck the back toes, send that left leg back, and we're going to come up into down dog and hold it here for 3 to 5 breaths, nice deep breaths. For this time, bringing yourself forward into our high plank, but this time we're going to take our right foot, bring it forward, but set it outside of our right hand. So your foot might be a little bit on the edge of your mat. That's absolutely fine. You can scoot it out all the way to the side, onto the floor if you like. If your floor is a little bit slippery, then you might want to scoot in the other direction, bring your foot back onto your mat, just so you've got a bit more grip. But whatever you decide is absolutely fine. From this position, we're going to set our back knee down. We're going to uncurl the toes here at the back as well. And then from here, you can stay up on your hands, hopefully feeling a little bit of a stretch through the back of this front leg. You can stay up on your hands. You can bring yourself down closer to the mat and down onto your elbows if you're flexible enough for that. I'm certainly not, so I'm going to stay up on my hands for this one. And again, nice deep breaths. Trying to get a lot of stretching and mobility in through our hips, because tightness in our hips can affect a lot of different parts of our body, especially our lower backs. And a lot of people who have back problems or back pain can really benefit from a lot of stretching and strength work in through the hips. So from here, again, pressing nice and strong through our hands, curl the toes under, send that right leg back into our high plank. We're going to do a quick little push back into down dog, forward into high plank once again, and this time, you guessed it, the left side. So left foot is on the outside of your left hand this time, setting this back knee down, untuck the toes, and same thing here, staying up on your hands, coming down to your elbows if you're flexible enough for it, or on the way to your elbows if you want to hang out there. That's absolutely fine. Getting a nice same stretch through the back of your left leg this time. We're going to go for a couple more breaths here. And with that being done, we're going to press in through our hands. You know the drill. Tuck those toes, bring that leg back, up into down dog. And we're going to be doing this one for about 3 to 5 breaths again. Straight arms here, press the chest towards the legs. Nice deep breaths. And from here, all we're going to do is you can bend your knees a little bit and just nice small steps up towards your hands, working your way towards the front of your mat. And when you get there, standing straight up just for a moment, get your bearings a little bit. And from here, all we're going to do, deep breath in, and as we breathe out, just let yourself fall forward. Keep a nice light bend in the knee. Arms can hang nice and loose. Let your neck hang nice and loose as well. And we're going to stay here in a forward fold. With your breaths, with each inhale, feeling yourself rise up a little bit. And each exhale, trying to sink a little bit lower if you can into your fold. And one more deep breath. And on our next inhale, we're going to raise our arms up and out to the sides as far as you can, and reach up above your head as well. Hopefully you've got higher ceilings than I do here. And from here, nice light bend backwards. If it feels like it's a bit much and you're getting a lot of compression in through your lower back, don't feel like you have to bend too far backwards. Just stand straight up and feel like you're stretching your shoulders. That's absolutely fine too. And just let your arms relax down to the sides. And breathe out. And lower yourself down into another forward fold. A little bit shorter here in this time. One more deep breath. And on this inhale here, breathe in, arms out wide to the sides, and breathe out as you get to the top. Nice little back bend if you can tolerate it. If not, just feeling yourself stretching above your head. And let the arms come out to your sides as well. One last time, we're going to fold forward, only for a few breaths here, 2 or 3 breaths. And then on the next inhale, Reaching out nice and wide, up above your head and behind. This time, pressing your hands together. You can press them together quite forcefully if you'd like as well, and bringing them down in front of your chest. Pressing them together is going to help you keep your shoulders down and back, rather than hunching forward through here. Nice and strong, proud chest. And from here, we're going to breathe out. Let your arms come to your sides. And from here, all we're going to do is walk it to the front of our mat so that our feet are lined up long ways with our mat here. And all we're going to do is take a big step back with our left foot. So our left foot is pointed out about 45 degrees from our front foot. And from straight legs here, all we're going to do is sink into that front leg here, the one pointing straight ahead of you or straight out to the side, depending on how you're oriented here. And from this position, just like we did in one of our previous ones, tuck your pelvis under a little bit so it feels like your tailbone is kind of supporting you underneath. You don't want to be arching your back too much here. So tuck that tailbone under, nice and strong glutes and core. Sink into that front leg, bring your arms up, squeezing through the shoulders, nice and strong, and looking out towards your front hand. Into warrior pose. You might be feeling a little bit of heat kind of growing through this front leg here. That's absolutely fine. Just focus on your deep breathing and it'll get you through it. I'm going to take a couple more deep breaths here. And after that last one, you're just going to straighten that front leg so that both legs are straight once again. And from here, arms are straight out. And we're just going to bring that front arm down towards your ankle. And you might feel quite a bit of a stretch here in the back of this front leg. I know I certainly do, and I'm not the best at demonstrating this triangle pose here, but I'll give you what I can. And hopefully, trying to keep your chest pointed out in front or to the side here and not caving forward with your shoulder coming down towards the floor. Try and keep it nice and open. And if this is a very intense stretch for the back of your front leg here, don't be afraid to back off a little bit. Just recover for a second, maybe bend that front knee before coming back into it. But we're not going to spend too much longer here in this position. Just one more breath. And then we're going to bring it up. And after straightening out that, or bringing yourself back up again, you're going to bring yourself to the front of your mat. I'm going to come this direction as well, so that when we come from this position and step our right leg back this time, again at about a 45-degree angle from your front leg, you can sink forward into your left leg. Again, tucking your pelvis under, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the core nice and strong, and your arms are going to come up, and you're going to gaze towards your front hand, which this time is the opposite hand from the one that you just did before. And so nice deep breaths. Nice strong pose here, really feeling powerful, grounded through your feet. Working on a little bit of balance, a little bit of leg strength here. A couple more deep breaths. And after that last deep breath here, just like we did before, we're going to go into our triangle pose, so straightening up your front leg. So both legs are straight here. We're going to bring that left hand down towards your left ankle. And again, keeping your chest up here, not letting your shoulders sink down, and reaching up towards the ceiling with your back hand. And I'm just going to back off a little bit because, like I said, this is a very intense stretch for me, so backing off for a second. You can do the same if you feel like you need it. And from here, bringing it back up, I want you to point both feet forward, so keeping your legs nice and wide. And we're going to go into a wide-legged forward fold here. Just keeping both legs wide. You can have a slight bend in the knee if you like. Just going to bring both arms forward, down towards the floor. Again, relaxing through the shoulders, relaxing through the neck, letting everything hang nice and loose, bringing yourself down towards the floor. I'm just going to turn to the side here, down towards the floor. You can just let your fingers rest nice and light. Rest on your knuckles if you like. If you're incredibly flexible, like some people I've seen, you can set your elbows on the ground, but if you're not capable of that, nobody's going to judge you here. I'm certainly not capable of it. And just let your neck hang nice and loose. Again, nice deep breaths. When you breathe in, feel your body rise up slightly. When you breathe out, feel yourself sink back down into the stretch. And we're going to roll up our spine here. Last of all, bringing your head up. And what we're going to do here is we're going to walk it back up to the front of our mat. Come down into a forward fold. Just nice and easy, but this time setting your hands down on the floor and then just walking your feet back nice and easy out into our high plank. And from here, like we did before, really pressing those hands into the floor, ground yourself through your hands, spread the fingers nice and wide, and press yourself back into a down dog. Heels down, chest towards your legs. Nice and strong, and nice deep breaths. One more deep breath. And then we're going to bring ourselves forward into a high plank. Set your knees down on the floor. And then from our all fours position here, what we're going to do is move into our child's pose. So from all fours here with your hands stacked below your shoulders, knees stacked below your hips, just going to sit your hips down and back towards your heels. Your knees can be as narrow or as wide here as you need. And for me, that's moving my knees out a little bit. And then bringing your chest down towards the floor, and your forehead as well comes down towards your mat. You can set it down on the mat if you like for some extra relaxation here. I'm not going to go completely down here just so I can talk to the camera a little bit, but set your head down on your mat if you can. And just nice deep breaths from here. Very relaxing pose. If you're having trouble bringing your chest down towards the mat, you can set something here, like a block or any sort of object, down underneath your elbows or underneath your hands, and that'll help you just keep yourself a little bit more up if you're not quite capable of bringing your chest down very far yet. But nice and relaxing, nice deep breaths. And we're going to bring it up into our tabletop all fours position once again. And from our tabletop pose here, all we're going to do is a variant on the cat-cow that we did earlier. And I just want you to squeeze your left shoulder towards your left hip. And really, really try to pull them close together and feel the stretch on the opposite side of your body. Same thing on the other side. Squeeze your right shoulder down towards your right hip. And just alternating back and forth at your own pace. Really pressing them together and trying to feel the stretch on the opposite side. And we're going to go a couple more times per side here. Nice deep breaths. And once you finish up there, just returning back to neutral and going into our child's pose again. So sitting the hips down and back, moving the knees out or in as is comfortable for you, and just bringing your head down towards the mat and relaxing. And as you're taking those nice deep breaths in child's pose, really focusing on how your body feels as you breathe in and breathe out. And bring yourself up out of your child's pose, back into tabletop position. And from here, all we're going to do is just turn it around. And from here, just lie back. And just like we did in the beginning, bringing your knees in towards your chest, squeeze them in. You can add in the rocking back and forth if you like. Again, just like we did at the beginning, while trying to keep those breaths going. Give yourself a little massage, especially if one side of your back is a little tighter or maybe a little bit sore. You can focus a little bit on that spot. Although hopefully we've been able to loosen things up a little bit and it's a bit better than it was before. Squeeze them in. One last time. Add any rocking that you like. And from here, let your feet fall to the floor. You can rest them flat on the floor. You can stretch them out straight in front of you. Whatever feels more comfortable. And as you're lying with your feet flat or your legs extended, you can rest your hands on your stomach. You can rest them out to your sides, palms up or palms down, whatever is more comfortable. And you can let your eyes unfocus, or you can close them completely if you like. And from here, all we're going to do is finish off with relaxation pose. So if your eyes are closed or if your eyes are unfocused, while you're lying there, I just want you to focus on your deep breathing, feeling the breath come in through your nose and out through your mouth, in through your nose and out through your mouth. And take a moment to reflect on the session that we've just done, how you feel, and if any thoughts come into your head, acknowledging them, realizing that they're there, and then setting them aside for later. Because now is time just to focus on your breathing, your body, and relaxation. So continue your deep breathing. We're going to stay here for about a minute longer. Nice deep breaths. And as you bring your attention back, you can roll onto your side and bring yourself up into a seated position. And from here, I just want to say thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I hope you're feeling better than you did coming into the session. And take a second to give yourself a pat on the back. Acknowledge yourself for doing something for your own betterment and for your own enjoyment. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you later.